Well, this is just a rough draft. I haven't done this before, so. Hi, my name is Olivia. I'm a student, and I began working with the World AIDS Museum. I wanted to become more involved because I wanted to give back to my community and become more educated on our history. I also wanted to inform others who discriminate those who've been affected by AIDS or HIV. I wanted to help show that AIDS and HIV is still prominent today, and we should be actively fighting against it.
Very good. That's great. Okay, Richard?
These things really make me nervous, much more nervous than actually doing it in front of a group. But, hi, I'm Richard. I'm a volunteer with the World AIDS Museum, sorry. Thank you for inviting us. AIDS has encompassed my life. I lived in San Francisco since 1971. So I've experienced it, and I come here today to share with you the experiences that I had living with HIV. I watched it before it had a name. I've seen people die endlessly from it, and now I've seen people living and thriving with it.
Nervous. Hi, my name is Arlene, and I volunteer at the World AIDS Museum. I started volunteering here because I felt like HIV doesn't get the recognition it needs, or it should get. I know people personally with HIV, and it just makes me more passionate to fight against stigma. I'm tired of hearing ignorance about it. Celebrities, people, it's always something ignorant, and it's almost as if they don't want to believe the truth sometimes. So working here gives me a direct impact on young people, which are the next generation, and I feel like through that they can learn about it, and if it's their first experience or if it's their experience in general, they'll take on the knowledge and be able to share it with others and in tune lessen the stigma around it and hopefully eliminate stigma.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, feedback for Arlene. What do we got?
I carried on.
What's that?
I said more on my paper. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing?
No, but it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
You seemed really passionate about what you were saying. Like, you didn't even have to look down at your paper. You knew what you were feeling, and you said it. I felt it.
Thank you.
So I agree with you. It's very hard. You can get caught up in your talking and the time. Just like, wait a minute, you're eating up time. But but it's also very hard to get it really concise, right? Because you're saying a lot, but you gotta get. I tend to do that too.
So, hi, my name is Marta. I'm a volunteer at the World AIDS Museum. So the way I started out as an intern for Gilda's Club, as a health educator, and I talked about how cancer affected minority groups. And a certain minority group I talked about was cancer in the LGBT community. But I also emphasized the fact that like their identity and who they are, that doesn't impact their risk for cancer, but like there are social factors that affect cancer risk in this community. But I was faced with a lot of backlash when I said this because they had a lot of misconceptions about the LGBT community, and they just automatically linked HIV, LGBT, and cancer. And so I'm really here to like try to decrease this stigma against this community, and like learn how to better improve myself as an educator and just help, you know, what did I say? Eliminate the stigma.
Okay.
That's it.
Great, thank you. All right, so feedback from Marta. Anybody?
I won't cry, I promise.
Well, let's ask you. I mean, how did you feel doing it?
I felt better. Just getting it out. You know? I don't know. I felt kind of weird. I felt insecure about it at first because I didn't have a personal connection with anybody with HIV. But I just know that I want to help eliminate the stigma, and I want to better educate myself because, like, coming from a conservative family, I was just like, I just didn't know anything about it. And so like it starts with me educating myself so I can better educate other people.
Okay. I love that. I think that's a great way to, that could be your speech.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
That's true.
In the same way.
What is your personal experience?
Yeah.
You just weren't part of that. You didn't have somebody, and your parents were conservative, but you found a way to circumvent that. Okay.
Okay, so my name's Hayden. I'm a volunteer at the World AIDS Museum. I got into this when I first heard about a kid named Ryan White, and the more I realized how close we were in age, and the more I learned about his story, the more I learned about HIV/AIDS, I was kind of confused about why we as a society were not talking about this more, and why in health class at school we're not talked about this. The only thing that we're told about is basically what the acronym stands for, and just to abstain. So I'm here just to learn more about what I can so I can pass on the information and knowledge to my peers.
Wonderful. All right, golf clap. So anybody, what'd you like about Hayden's story?
I think it was good the way that he spoke about how it's talked about in schools.
Okay,
That's
good.
one thing I've always said. So if we had a student versus like us old men doing it,
Hey.
I think it brings it also back to your peers, right? And I think that, again, when you say it, it comes across because you're one of those peers, right? So it's, yeah, as opposed to, you know, the grumpy old men trying to disseminate information.